Welcome to the Building Business Podcast, a podcast where we speak to the real people behind businesses. In each episode, we'll be having conversations with founders, leaders and entrepreneurs about the highs and lows of running businesses. But yeah, Beck was in. I had a really good chat with Beck. Because to be fair, she joined Liverpool South.
Yeah.
And I've not actually had a proper chance to catch up with her. But it was really interesting kind of like hearing what she does. So you do quite a bit of work with her, don't you?
Yeah. So me and Beck were actually friends before. So we met on a hen do years ago. And then became friends. And then we were chatting one day and I was like, I think I'm going to quit my job. And she was like, oh my God, me too. And we both like went into business at the same time.
And you were both in HR?
In HR, yeah.
So you went on a hen do and just started talking about HR?
Well, someone was like, Beck does HR too. And that was how, like, you know, when you're on like a hen or a stag and like with random groups of friends. And
common ground, we'll be friends.
Common ground, yeah, literally. And then we've been friends ever since.
So you literally launched the businesses at the same time?
More or less, yeah, but we didn't know that we were both doing it. We'd both been on the same like boot camp and everything and not realised.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, and that's how we met Dan as well.
Do you find that's a lot, obviously, because you've kind of done it at the same time? Yeah. You've got that peer, haven't you? Like, how are you getting on? Oh, God, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But you do a lot of kind of cover work for each other as well?
Yeah. I'd say with Dan Lopez as well. And I think with my mum's, because she's like worked in sales all her life, she's like... because I said that we were covering Dan's holiday, she was like, isn't he worried you're trying to nick his business? And I was like, it's just not how we do it in HR. Like,
do you know
I feel
what,
like
though?
We're all so
I would think exactly the same. Yeah. Like, I'd never give another business responsibility of my cut. Not a chance.
It's mad. I don't know if it's just because HR people are just a bit like, we follow the rules. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't dare.
That's boring.
We really follow the rules. And I just think it's just a nice thing that we've all done, and I don't know whether it's normal or not, but I think there's probably like 3 or 4 different HR.
It's good though, innit? Because it means like certain. I remember Dan Lopez saying to me like when he first set the business up, he hadn't had time off.
No.
And he's gone on holiday but still working.
Yeah.
It's not a holiday, is it?
It's not a holiday.
Just working in the sun.
Exactly.
That sounds horrendous. Like,
exactly. And the thing is, it's not even fun. Like, it is nice work, but you don't want somebody ringing you with a crisis while you're on the beach.
And you're not actually switching off. The purpose of a holiday, certainly for me, is to go and do nothing and get that headspace, which refreshes you. You come back.
Yeah. But how many businesses do you come up with when you go on holiday?
Loads. That like clear thinking. I'm like, oh, I could do this, and then I see stuff, and I'm like, I could do that. I could make cocktails. I could open a hotel.
I'll do it all.
But yeah,
that's so funny. So yeah.
Tell me a little bit how, because obviously, I take it you started the business before Dan then got involved?
Kind of, yeah. So I kind of go back to the beginning. So I was working in HR, like just in corporate.
in industry, if you like,
yeah. So I worked in lots of different businesses, worked for Yodel and things like that. So was always in HR. Then lockdown happened. I had some spare time on my hands, so I was doing like Instagram videos for people who'd been put on furlough or had been made redundant, just helping
just
them
off your own back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helping them
and
understand.
Did you do that with a purpose, or were you just?
I think I wanted to explore like doing something a little bit different, but I also think I was just a bit bored, and it was like that time where like people were people were starting to share like videos. So I was like, these are your rights. This is what you need to do, like a bit of a career coach. And I had some clients, and then I had.
What were you doing that on TikTok?
It was Instagram.
No way.
At the time, so it was quite.
How'd you find looking at a camera and doing that? Because I hate doing it.
Yeah, you know what? Looking back at them now, like I've hidden them all now because I can't bear to look at them. And looking back on them, like, oh my God, that was awful. Especially now because everyone's so professional now, whereas I literally like in my bedroom or in the kitchen making these little videos. But I used to just chat away, like I'd just put like interview tips or. And
then did you edit it or just post it raw?
Just posted it raw.
See, I find, and to be fair, it's not the reason we hired you, Frank. That's one of the reasons we got Frank involved. So video content's massive, isn't it?
It's huge.
I think less so now because everyone's doing it. Yeah. But certainly if you go back like 5 years, that was the standout. If you did video content, that was the one. And you see all these people looking at a camera saying, this is not... And I was like, I need to do that. Because in our industry as well, in logistics, it's old school. The dinosaurs, no one's doing it. So if I do it, I'm going to book the trend, stand out. And I remember trying to do it for you, and I was like, this is like, you know, you just cringe. You're like, oh, I sound like an absolute whopper.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't do it. But then there'd been situations, I think we did some at the club where like Frank was doing interviews. And I'll talk all day. So like this, I'll talk all day. I'm not bothered.
It's a lot easier,
but if there's no one to talk to, and I've got a script, I'll say, and I'll mess my words up, and then you have to do 3 takes. Yeah, exactly. So when Frank came into the business, I was like, I'm really sorry, but you're going to have to learn how to edit videos here.
Yeah.
All you need to do is ask me questions and I'll just throw stuff at you. And it works really well. And I think we found that we've had staff engaged in doing it as well. Again, if I'd said to member staff, put that camera on and just say this to it, they wouldn't do it.
Couldn't do it, no.
But if we just put camera on and talk,
it just takes the weirdness away, doesn't it?
It's just a conversation, isn't it?
So much easier.
And like in this situation, you forget the cameras are running. And you just have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that's where...
And then you have to watch it back.
Yeah, but Frank does all the editing, so... but that's where, like, from Quickline's perspective, the authenticness of the people comes across. Yeah. Because they're not putting on that facade of, I am recording a video. Yeah. They're just having a conversation, and after a while, it's just them.
Yeah.
And that's where you really get the personality of staff through.
Yeah. And that's what people want to see as well. And I think as well, the people that you do follow online that do the talking into the videos, the more normal they are, the more you want to watch. If someone's there, like reading or like monotone, and I think that's what mine were. They were a bit monotone, involved in like some of the trends and like the voiceovers, and then I think I just was like, I'm cringing myself out here. Like, I can't do this anymore.
And you do it and like one person likes it and you're like, oh, it's me mum.
Yeah, I'd have a few fans that were just like friends and family members. But it was a perfect thing for then. And it just let me, someone messaged me and was like, can you help us with a HR project? And then the HR project started to snowball.
Right, okay.
And then I had like my full-time job and HR projects for a bit, and then my work let me kind of phase out. Yeah. And Dan was doing something similar. He was doing a bit of freelance, a bit of working in-house. And me, him and Beck used to go for like lunches together, and we set up a networking group, like a HR networking group.
I love that.
And then me and Dan would just joke about going to business together. And then one day, it just like the stars aligned. He was in need of a bit of extra work. I needed some help, and we went together. And
so
then
did you kind of, at what point did you quit your job and go all in?
It was about 6 months in.
And is that just because it was getting busier?
Yeah.
With the one client or more clients?
More. They kind of, at the start, because I think a few friends had businesses. It was the very beginning. I felt like I could take on new clients really quickly, and then I kind of monopolised all of my friends and family network.
That's good though, isn't it?
That happened quite quickly, which was really good.
Yeah.
And then it's just been a bit slower, like then building and...
It's hard, isn't it? And the thing is as well, as soon as you go in with Dan, it's just like when me and Stephen did it. There's 2 salaries you need to pay. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that jump, and you see it all the time. Like, and we see it in the networks. People have got a really successful business, but they're still running it. Yeah. A bit different from what you do, because you are the product and service, aren't you? But like, you know, there's people that still run it that really shouldn't be. Yeah. But to make that jump from that to bringing people in. Yeah. That's huge. That's not just like doubling your money, because you've got to do it and some as well. Exactly. Because if you have one down month, but you've still got to pay them because they've got a mortgage. They've got. Do you know what I mean?
And they come first, which is the hardest.
Pay yourself last. It's horrendous.
But Dan's like, honestly, like the best thing that we could have done for the business was Dan. Like, I feel like, and you might be the same. Like, it's 2 salaries, but it's 2 different skills and strengths, and he is just.
So which role does each one of you play?
He is like the energy. I think, like, you know what he's like he's like gets stuck in, he can go out there, he networks, he is like such a good sales person, and he's not afraid to kind of say how good we are as a business in terms of the service, and he shares like our value, and then he's really strong on like the ER stuff, so he's great with like employment law essentially, so anything that's a bit sticky, disciplinaries, grievances, he's really strong on that. And then I take a bit more of, we call it like the fluffy side of things, so supporting with coaching, training, and like day-to-day kind of like performance management within teams as well. And I'm happy to kind of sit in the background a bit.
Do you know what? I think that, and Stephen always says this, and to be fair, Stephen's got more in the foreground recently, but it was always the same. Like, you know, I'm one of them. I'll beat the hind legs off someone. Yeah. I'll sell anything. Do you know what I mean? set up new businesses if I need to. And Steve was always very happy to be like, no, I'll just keep you in line. I'll hold the reins, pull you back. He's changed, like, as the business has grown, he's had more freedom. Yeah. He has got more front facing. We always found that when he did, he got more kind of interaction than I did, because people are like, I just see Andy all the time and they get really bored of him.
A new face.
But like a different face. But it is interesting, those dynamics, but it works as well. I think you need it. You can't have two. Yeah. You can't have two superstars. You can't have two like headliners, because they'll just clash.
Exactly.
It comes into like disc profiling as well, then, doesn't it? Yeah. Which obviously you get in the realms of when you've got bigger teams and stuff.
Definitely. And I think because we both have slightly different approaches, some people prefer Dan's approach and some people might prefer my approach, so we kind of like can match clients to each other.
And you tend to do that as well?
Yeah.
They're probably better suited to you.
Client,
That's quite good though, isn't it? Because again, that, you know, that in comparison to other consultancies, they don't necessarily have that. No. Certainly if they're like one person ran. Yeah. And stuff like that.
Definitely. Yeah, and we get the holiday cover, so we can go on as many.
So you can go away, and he still runs the business. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So how long have you been going now?
So, IGHR has been going for just over 2 years. Okay. Yeah. So
brilliant. Tell me a little about IGHR. Then.
So IG. So people always think.
I get the HR bit.
Yeah, the HR makes sense.
Kind of gives it away.
Because people think it's like initials, but it's like Dan, Jen. Like there's no. Like I or G, yeah. And then some people think it's IGHR, but IG basically stands for Ikigai. Yeah. And I don't know if you've heard of like the Japanese philosophy. I feel like I've read the book. Have you read the book?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a good book.
When you tell me about it, I'll tell you if I have or not.
You'll know it like instantly. So basically, it's a Japanese philosophy.
It's a bit like yin yang.
Kind of, but it's basically in a place called Okinawa. And I'm terrible at pronouncing some of the words, so apologies. But there's a place called Okinawa in Japan, and it's got one of the biggest populations of people that live past 100 years old. Right. And there's a few other areas in the world that have centenarians. Cut that out, maybe. I can't pronounce it. But people that live past 100, and they often put it down to various habits like eating healthy, having community around you, just having like a healthy lifestyle. But in Japan, in Okinawa, they say that everybody who lives past 100 has an ikigai, which is like a reason for getting out of bed in the morning. Right, okay. A purpose.
That's what I was saying before.
It's exactly what they were saying.
It's like we knew this was going to happen, guys.
Exactly. It all ties in. So they have this big philosophy about never retiring and always having something to get up for. And I'd read that book kind of during COVID, and I was like, oh, I really like that as like a philosophy. And when I'd started doing the career coaching, I was like, oh, I can help people find their ikigai and find their purpose in their work. Yeah. And then as we kind of developed the business, Luke, who was our accountant, Luke Whitehill at Excel, was like, you probably need to have a business name, rather, because we were just kind of freelancing really before.
Just Dan and Jen.
Just Dan and Jen. And he was like, you need a business name. And I was like, oh, I would like it to be Ikigai, because it kind of was the thing that inspired everything from the beginning anyway. And it's got a really nice backstory to it. And then he was like, oh, that sounds great, but people aren't going to remember that very well. You're probably going to get sued. You might get sued. People aren't going to remember it. People will struggle to sell it. So we went for IGHR. Bro. But then we built this like model that sits like kind of the values of our business, which fit into the
do you
pillars.
Align them to the book that you originally?
Yeah. So in Ikigai, they've got these 4 circles, and in the centre you've got your Ikigai, which is your reason for being, and it's you do what you love, do what you're good at, do what the world needs, and do what you can be paid for. So we kind of map that to HR. It's like people in the workplace should do work they are good at. They should be able to thrive both in and out of work. They should be paid well and fairly, and they should understand how their role like fits into. I was going to say,
so you don't have a model where like everyone turns around and goes, "Yeah, I'm not doing anything I enjoy. I need to leave."
Yeah.
So glad we brought them in. Everyone's left.
We can't be having that one, can we? Because not everybody loves their job, and
it's a challenge even if you love your job, tie that into a business. But I like the way you've done it. Mm-hmm. I'm a great believer in, and I love the conversation around purpose, and I think it's really important because if people genuinely believe in the work they're doing, they'll work 10 times more than 100%. If they're just doing it for the paycheck.
Definitely.
Now, what that belief looks like can be completely different. So I was saying before, to someone that culture's massive for me. And I think when I trace it back to why I set my businesses up, you know, when I first started in my first proper job, I had a fantastic boss. We had a great culture. He was a young lad. We just enjoyed. We had a laugh. We worked, but we had a laugh. We made loads of money, but we had fun. Yeah. And that was massive for me. And then he moved on. I got another manager. Wasn't the same.
Not so fun.
Job. Great pay. Very good at the job, but missing that kind of enjoyment factor. Yeah. And I remember when I got my first team, it was just like we just had a laugh. Yeah. I employed people, and we just had a proper laugh. And I remember my boss at the time wasn't kind of best pleased because it must have sounded or seemed like all you seem to do is dick about. Yeah. But we hit the results. And I'm like, well, why are you bothered? Like, if we're hitting your results, it doesn't matter. So I didn't think it got to the point where I was like, you know what? Like, if I can create a business where every day in work is fun. Yeah. And I'm not saying that, oh, yeah, it's my purpose to do deliveries. No one thinks that. No. And if they do, probably not the right kind of person for me. But, you know, people come to work and we have fun and we enjoy, not necessarily enjoy what we do, because at times it can be boring as anything, but we enjoy who we do it with. We enjoy the way we do it. We enjoy the environment we do it in. And I don't know if that's purpose, but I genuinely believe people work in our business not because they love the job, but because they love the business. Yeah. And I think that is purpose. I think that's the reason that they keep turning up.
It is, 1,000,000%. And I think, like, you hear it time and time again, people really are money motivated and driven, but then so often, like, we're in situations where someone's planning to leave a business and they're going for a lesser salary because actually they're really not enjoying the environment that they're in a certain place. And it is a lot of the time, like, money is a driver, but it's not always the only driver. And I think people will stay.
You can't you can constantly chase money, but the people that I know and that I see have done that are not happy. Yeah. They're happy. They've got what they want. You know, they don't want for anything, but they're moaning about the job.
Exactly.
So the reality is you spend most of your time there or doing that. If that makes you feel miserable,
it's not
probably
worth it.
Not in the right
always.
Place, are you? Exactly. And what's for the sake of a couple of grand a year? Yeah. It's not worth it, is it? No. Certainly not for me, anyway.
Exactly. And I think that's what it is. It's like, it sounds like you've created that, like, really nice environment in Quicklime where people, they work hard and they get the job done. But actually,
I think that culture piece is key, though. It's having the right people. And interestingly enough, obviously the different businesses are at different levels, but we had a conversation with the manager of the football team the other day, and he said something similar where he touched on the fact that it's almost the culture, it's the people, it's kind of like it's us. Yeah. And, you know, he's brought players into that squad that may not be the best player. Yeah. May not be the best fit on paper, but they come in and they get it. They get us, they get it, and we've got a group of people there who buy into what we are, and that's not just 11 people on a pitch. That's everyone from the cleaner to the volunteers to the board to the chairman to the manager. Everyone gets it and does it our way, and, you know, no surprise, they're achieving some great things. So
definitely, and it's how, like, whatever you do, if you know how that helps other people in your business, then you're like, this is why I'm doing this job, even though it's a bit of a job that I don't, it's not my favourite part of the job, but it means that we can do this as a business, or people can do this and deliver that, and that's how it, like, all fits in. Have you ever seen Ted Lasso, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not a big football fan, but I think, like, in terms of football and, like, lessons on culture, I think.
Do you know what I love? It's a proper, like, underdog story as well, because he's awful, isn't he?
He's dreadful.
But what he actually does is incredible. Yeah. Do you know what? And it's not. Although it's a football program, I don't think it is a football program.
No, it's about kind of
the story
being a
behind
good person.
it. Yeah, and you can apply that to any organisation.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I love him. He's boss. I'm gonna watch that when I get in tonight.
It's great. It's. I was like, when I was watching it, I was like taking notes. I was like, I need to start.
He's like dead inspirational,
getting all of our clients to watch this, because it's just like he just listens to people, and I think that's what all people care about, isn't it? If they feel heard.
Yeah. Well, we do it now. They're doing it today. We do monthly one-to-ones with all the staff. So one of the directors will sit down with every member of the staff once a month and just be like, how are you doing? Yeah. And we follow development plans, and that's, we touch in, where you're up to with that, can I help you with anything? But it's support. Yeah. I had a really good conversation this morning. So Lewis, who does our sales, he's been with us for a combined, he left for a bit, came back maybe 4 or 5 years, and he's now got an apprentice under him. So he came in as an apprentice. Yeah. He's only mid-20s. He's now got an apprentice who's 18. So we're now... So he's still selling, he's still at his targets, but we're now working on how do we develop Lewis? Yeah. And how do we make Lewis into that coach and mentor as well as still performing? So he's mentoring his apprentice, and I've said to him, right, sit down every week, do coaching with him and stuff like that. And I had a call with him before, and he was like, what do we do about this? Here's his challenge. So we've had a chat, try a few different things, and he's implied it straight away. And he's messaged me like, I've just done that, and he's just done it, and it worked. Yeah. How satisfying is that?
That's so good. Do you know what I mean? Like what you want to hear, isn't it?
But like as a business owner as well, that's as satisfying as him ringing me telling me he's landed £1 million worth of business. Yeah. I'm probably more satisfied that he's done that. Yeah. I'm like, get in there.
Yeah, he's done himself proud. That's amazing.
Yeah, and you can tell he's buzzing that he's tried something and it's worked and he's seen the benefit. Yeah. And as soon as someone like that buys into other people's development, you know,
well, you've got another good person.
He's going in the right direction. Yeah. Because there's so many people that are very good in their role, and because they're good, you can be a manager, but they might not be good at managing people.
No, exactly.
I've seen that a lot as well.
So wrong.
We've had guys who are like top sales performers. Sales is the typical example, and because they're top of the tree, top numbers, you go, well, naturally you might as well manage a sales team. Yeah. But the actual disc profile of a salesperson is far too selfish. Yeah. To be a manager. Yeah. Some of the best sales managers are awful salespeople.
Exactly. And I think it is. It's such a different skill. And I think if you've got someone that's really great at their job, you have to have a real serious think about whether promoting them into a management role is the right path for them.
But I think a lot of people naturally think that's what they should do as well. And I think that's wrong.
Typically what's designed
is it an expectation of people? It's almost kind of like, it's okay if you don't do that. You don't have to. Yeah. And I've had conversations, I think I was talking to Rebecca about it, in terms of like the lack of management training is bad, really bad. Yeah. And that's across the board. How many people are responsible for people but have never been trained to do that?
It's scary, isn't it? And they've got so much responsibility for people's, not just the work that they deliver, but actually like people's well-being and happiness. Exactly.
So do you take your model, so you obviously the clients that you're working with, are you trying to implement that model into all of their businesses? So is that a deal breaker if a client was like, no, I'm not interested in that, I just want the basic thing?
Yeah, so it's not a deal breaker. And to be honest, it's...
Or is that just more of a, okay, but I'll get you?
Yeah, but we'll get you there.
It's more of a challenge.
We'll sneak away. But no, we've got different levels of support, from kind of your basic advice line right through to we call it like a HR business partner model, which is where you feel like you've got that full service HR team, but it's just an outsourced HR team rather than an internal HR team. But we won't kind of enforce that model on clients. It's just something that we anticipate that they will
But I suppose
get from working with us.
You might not directly enforce it, but the way in which you deal with their challenges is backed by it anyway. Yeah. So without them knowing it, you almost are putting it into practice within the business anyway.
Yeah, we're just sneakily slipping
they just don't
in.
know. Well, they will do now.
They don't know, but we will. And it's about like making sure, like you said, they've got those trained managers. Yeah. That they've got.
I think it's a massive thing. I think staff development's huge. We've put a lot of staff on courses. We've put staff on management courses, but it might be like your ILM level course and stuff, which is great for the qualification. But does it really teach them how to manage people? It gives them a certificate. It's great for the CV. It might get them another job. Yeah. Super. But is it going to help them deal with that right here and now challenge? Because how are they going to take the textbook learning and put it into practice without anyone helping them on how to do that?
Exactly. I have a bit of I think management training it's great, and I think if organisations are investing in it, even better. But we offer, last year I went through kind of a coaching qualification, so I'm qualified now to deliver coaching programs, and one thing that we do as kind of part of our training programs is offer kind of coaching on the back of that. So you kind of go through the training program modules, but that also includes some either group coaching or one-on-one coaching, so that people can actually implement what they've learned. Because it's all great to show somebody here's this perfect model on how to deliver effective feedback, but in reality, when someone's consistently making performance mistakes at work, that model isn't always going to
Yeah.
sit right, and it probably won't always land. So the coaching can help managers kind of bring those real life examples
I
to
suppose
a
if you're
session.
working in the business anyway, you already know what them challenges might
You
be.
know exactly what they are.
So does that make it easier to then actually say, I can help you with it? And what format would you do that in? Is that done in like one-to-ones with them or development sessions or?
It's either one-on-one. So for some managers, they kind of work with me over kind of a course of either 6 or 12 weeks, and that would be like a one session per week. We'd talk through the actual live challenges, but also do some like inner work as well. So that might be looking at kind of beliefs and how they show up in the workplace, looking at values and how they show up. So it's kind of 2 levels to it, really.
And would you do that on a full 360 approach? So would you kind of get feedback from their manager, and then get feedback from them and get feedback from their team as well?
That could be an option. So we'll always do a bit of, we call it like a triad. So to have an initial meeting with the person that wants to have the coaching, just to understand what they're hoping to achieve from it. But then we'd bring their manager in as well, in case the manager has specific goals that they would like to be worked on in the training. So they link back to the business. And then one of kind of the homework pieces that I might give would be to go out and get that feedback from direct reports or other managers or colleagues in the business as well, so that they can kind of.
I think that's the key, is making it relevant to the business as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, and again, that goes back to like the training courses that they might go on. The content's great, but there's nothing bridging that to that, and you're relying on the learner to bridge that. And a lot of them, rightly or wrongly so, will just do that.
Yeah.
And not necessarily have the headspace to make that connection.
Yeah.
Which is, we're only human, aren't we? Do you know what I mean?
Well, exactly. And they can go a bit off tangent. And I think, like, if it has to be, if the business is investing in it, it's got to have a positive impact on the business. It's got to work for the business. If you're going for kind of personal coaching, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
That might be like, you might, by the end of it, decide that you want another job. But if it's within the organisation, it's about figuring out how that person can develop personally and professionally whilst also having an impact on the business that's going to help that business.
So do you do that coaching as part of your retained packages as well?
It
or
can
is that
be
more as like modular?
Yeah, so it can be part of the business partner retained package, but normally it's offered kind of as a bit of an add-on to the service.
Because I suppose it's not necessarily like an ongoing thing, is it? It could just be like, right, that's a 6-weekly project thing. Yeah. Because stuff like that, I suppose you want to be able to go in, deliver it and leave and show the value. Yeah. But then I suppose on the flip side, that could act as a really good lead generator for continued retained work for support services.
It can come in either way. It can either be coaching first, HR after, or HR first and coaching after. And it works really well with teams as well if you've got kind of either low engagement or communication's not going well. You can do it on like a team or a group basis where it gives people the space to share their thoughts and ideas safely, I suppose, and like facilitate a positive conversation around that, and then accountable actions too, which is that's one of my favourite things to do. I'm currently working with a business at the moment who wants to improve their engagement, and we go in every quarter and everyone has like their turn to kind of share like what's coming up for them, like what they think could improve, and they're always like, oh, this feels like therapy, but it's just them being like listened to. But
is
like
that
the change
relative to their role or just their life?
Just their the working environment.
Right, okay,
So I think they had they did an engagement survey a couple of years ago, and it was still high. It was like 70%, but last year when they did it, it was like nearing like 90% engagement. So it really works.
It's good, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
I love that. So what does the ideal business you want to work with look like in terms of like what do they want for you? Are you all in? Is that what you're looking for? Them ones where you're all in and you can really deliver change and demonstrate the value? Yeah.
Our dream client is like a professional services business with circa 10 to 15 employees who might have kind of an office manager or an ops manager who has been given the role of HR and wants to do a great job, but is just like, I don't really know the employment laws and I just need a bit of help. They're our dream client because we can come in, we can help that person get all the foundations in place, contracts, handbooks, processes, a nice HR system that tracks everything. And then we can work with them then to do all of the really great stuff that's going to help them grow from like 10 employees to 100 employees. Yeah. And we kind of act as that kind of outsourced HR business partner.
Do you know what I think? That's the perfect... I mean, first of all, really good that you've got that demographic. Yeah. There's so many people, I'm probably one of them you speak to, and they don't know, bang, that's where we need to be. So like, I'm one of them. I want to work with everyone. Which I do, but I find it really hard to be like, I specifically want to work in aerospace manufacturing. Yeah. Because I'm like, but what if like car manufacturing's available? And I've just said I only deal with aerospace. Yeah.
There's a bit of a nervousness.
Gives me anxiety. But it's good that you can nail that, because I think as soon as you hit that target thing, you can go and get data and you can market the data and sell to it. Yeah. Which I think is really important. And I think you've got a sweet spot there in terms of headcount where that. And if I think back to ourselves, I mean, so we are probably mid-20s in terms of staff, 27 maybe. Yeah. And we're at that stage where you're kind of not big enough to have specifically someone in HR. It's almost like you're in a desert, and you're kind of like, we're too big for that, but we're not big enough for that. Yeah. What's the medium happy space? Yeah. And that's probably where a lot of your challenges will come as well. Yeah. And I think if you sketch, so we've done it before. We took the workforce up to like 38. We did a big expansion a few years back. It didn't work. Yeah. For various reasons, operational, but one of them was from a HR and a culture piece, because I thought what I've got in Liverpool is amazing. Yeah. They're good culture because I'm there every day. Me and Stephen driving the culture. We've got the right people. We can do this everywhere. Yeah. Let's go and open 6 more sites. So we did in the space of 6 months. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah. And suddenly I was like, well, why aren't they doing it like them? Yeah. And then they're bickering and they're going over there doing it. And I was like, what? And I'm like, what? But if you go for that scale and growth without that cultural foundation in place, you're adding to your challenges. It's a challenge anyway, because you've tripled your overheads and you've got all these costs. You don't need the extra challenge of culture. Yeah. And not equipping your people in the right way. And, again, learning curves. And I said to the team the other week, I've probably failed more than I've succeeded, but you learn from failing. Do you know what I mean? And if I did it again, don't know whether I'd want to go that, but if I did, one of the things is all of that in place? Yeah. And is that a scalable model so that they can adopt remotely?
Exactly. And it is so hard. Like, people are like, it's the hardest part of your business ever to manage, and you've seen it. And I think those people always refer, like, they were the good old days, like when we were growing. And I think that you find you build a really great team, you're really close-knit, and you've got the time for everybody. And then as you grow, like, it will always change. Even if you think you can replicate it and you've got all the systems, like, it will never be the same. But like you said, you can put some things in place. I
don't know what the actual number is, but you go from, like, you start up, there's 2 of us, and you've got a team, and maybe the next milestone is 6, but you're in the office with them every day, you're all in the same office, everyone knows what everyone's doing. And you soon get to a stage where, like, you've got departments and divisions in the company, I haven't got a clue what's going on. Yeah. And you're relying on your senior leadership team and your board to tell you exactly. And it's funny because obviously Quicklime, we're 10 years into it, we've spent a lot of time and energy and effort in putting that in place. And then I flip it to kind of like other businesses I'm involved with. And the business is probably as big in terms of an organisation, but the structure isn't there. Yeah. And, you're still dealing with things that are well below the remit that you should be dealing with, given the scale of what's going on. And there's a struggle in terms of saying, well, why can't I do that there, that I'm doing there? Yeah. And it's just another challenge, set up another business.
Yeah, just start afresh.
Yeah, no, it's
good. A new one. Yeah. And what are, like, the goals for Quicklime? Like, what's
Quicklime? So we're 10 years into our journey with Quicklime, and we've probably not even started in terms of where I want us to be, and I believe we can be. Yeah. The model's changed. We've always innovated, so we set the business up. It was innovation, something different. Yeah. We probably lost our way a bit in terms of we stopped innovating. Okay. And I think you stop innovating, you stop growing. That's what I found. And when we realised that, we switched. Okay, what's the future of this sector look like? We're innovating again. We're investing in tech. We're investing in automation. I'm doing a little bit of kind of research and work with universities and various bodies on self-driving autonomous vehicles, which is like Back to the Future stuff, but interesting. You know, we might be 10, 15 years away from it, but if I'm at the forefront of it, I'm positioning myself in the right place. 10 years in, you know, we've still got so much to go at. We've got a real challenge in the business in that we've probably got more opportunity than we've got resource.
Right, yeah.
So there's plenty to go at, and it's there. I could go and quadruple the size of my sales team and go and convert it, but you've then got to manage budgets, but then it's also culture. If I go and bring in another 6 salespeople, that's going to create a really toxic culture if they're not the right people. You've got to do it in the right way. So it frustrates me because I'm like, we could be so much bigger and better, but it's a process. We're doing absolutely we're flying. We are,
and that's like
and sometimes
where you want to be, isn't it?
We never, and I don't do this in anything, never stop and look back. I never stop and think, look what we've achieved. Because the moment I do that, I'd not pat myself on the back yet. We're not ready. Constantly keep looking forward, and I think that's
still celebrate yourself.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we're 10 years old this month. So we're having a big party in July. Stephen's booked the Titanic out. Everyone's coming. You're invited.
Oh, great.
I've just not got the invite yet. But yeah, so everyone's coming. We're going to have a big night, just a big celebration night.
Oh, amazing.
Which will be lovely. And you've got to do stuff like that. And we do, you know, every quarter we get the team together and we do something to celebrate what they've done. But then it's like, this is really good, we've done this. And then I'm like, but this is what we're going to do next. Do you know what I mean? And, but that's the culture. Keep a culture where like we're not satisfied. You know, we break records every month consistently.
Yeah.
But we can still do more.
Yeah.
You know, the team are like smashing records and I'm like, great, but this is like £100,000 worth of stuff that we didn't win.
Yeah.
That we had the opportunity to. How do we get that? And to be fair, I've had people in the past be like, oh, for God's sake, and I'm like,
it will never
This
end.
is the culture. This is what we do. We keep going. It's never good enough. We strive for better. And they're all good enough to do it.
Yeah.
And they will do it. So it's exciting. It's really exciting. What about yourselves? What's the plan? The big dream?
The big dream. So I think this year for us, like last year was all about like systems and like getting ourselves into like a stable position. And then this year is all about growth and kind of we're wanting to double our client base.
Yeah.
We've got the coaching and training arm that's kind of been busier and busier. So trying to grow that arm of the business, and then hopefully at some point this year is bring somebody else in to support.
So you are very much kind of, because I speak to like various business owners who kind of in your sector that say, no, I want to keep it just me, which is great, and that's absolutely fantastic. But you're thinking, no, bigger, better, let's go for it.
You know what? It always surprises me because I think at the start I was always like, could never see it being a team that we would grow, and I think always still see it as a small business. And I think what makes us work is that we are really present with clients. We're in their businesses. We know their teams know us by name and things like, and I think that's a really nice thing that we do. So I don't want us to ever. You got to think sometimes
if you increase too much, do you lose that?
You lose that person, and I think that's what sets us apart from the big HR companies. And I think we are a bit fun and a bit creative, but I think if we could get someone in really to help us with like that, the admin side, it frees us up more to do that.
Thing is,
and
like,
I think
suppose
that's where we all
you're the product, aren't you? You are the business, and that's fine. Like you say, it's building that resource in to support the back end of delivering that to allow you to go out and be more you. Do you know what I mean?
And do the stuff that we enjoy.
It comes across so passionately that it is your purpose.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, there's people that start a business and they really love, but then grow to a stage where they're not actually doing what they love. And then they fall out of love with it. Exactly. So it's doing it in a way that you've done it because you enjoy doing it. You've done it because you want to do it, and it's a purpose. So don't lose that and continue to deliver 100%. That as long as you can.
Definitely. And I think for us, like, we're big advocates for, like, we don't want to work really hard. We have a lot of flexibility, and that's like the dream for both of us. And I think as long as we can keep that flexibility while still enjoying what we do and then growing, like, that's and
what's the strategy for growth? How are we going to grow?
How are we going to grow? I don't know. We keep working hard. I think it is just getting out and about more. Speaking to, getting referrals. Like all of our clients come through our other clients and recommendations, which is amazing. But
is that your biggest kind of like lead generator? Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that in itself, justifies how good you are at what you do as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose it's a very much relationship-led sell as well, isn't it? So, your closing sales pipeline might be years.
It can be like years, and it is. It normally, the sad thing is normally when we close, it's when a business owner has an issue that they can't resolve. Yeah. So we had an example of a client that we'd been speaking to for, I think it was over 12 months, and he was like, I will come and work with you. I know I need to, but everything was kind of ticking along okay. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they needed something, and that kind of kickstarted.
It's one of them, innit? Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And that's fine. But like, I suppose a lot of your sales outreach is just being there, being present. And it links back to, like, obviously the networking. Like I always say to people, kind of, don't expect an ROI straight away. You've got to be seen. Yeah. Get to know all these people. They'll introduce you, but then also they know as soon as something comes up, bang,
they can ring
I know who to speak to. And it's being constantly being in the forefront of people's minds, isn't it?
Yeah, literally. And that's it is, because normally it is. They have some great team, great culture, and then something happens. Perhaps someone is unfortunately off sick, and they're off sick for a long time. What do you do in that scenario? Yeah. Oh, call Dan and Jen, they can help us and we'll help. And that's normally what happens.
Is there any kind of statistics or any insights into how many businesses don't have HR support?
I imagine it's a lot,
I was going to say, I mean, I don't know where you get that data from, but
I don't know.
I imagine there is a lot of businesses out there who have nothing.
Yeah.
And they'll rely on what? ACAS maybe?
ACAS, ChatGPT can throw out some useful stuff.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me, you know what? It makes me nervous for people that rely on it, because we put stuff in there sometimes, and what it produces is really good advice, but it can be missing some really important. It's only as good though as what you put in. Yeah. And but it is scary. And I think, like, if you're saying, and an example, we had someone who'd hired his first employee. ChatGPT had done a lovely contract, which was actually really good, but it had a clause in there that says your notice period is 6 months, I think it was, which is a really long time. In the first few months, they realised the individual wasn't. But they had to give them 6 months. They had to give them 6 months' notice.
Wow.
Paid.
See, and
you
do you know
what?
Get
out of that.
The reality is, if you're running a business, that's not something like, rightly or wrongly so. Yeah. I'm running a logistics business. The last thing I want to be dealing with is anything HR related. Yeah. I probably haven't got the time to. Yeah. I certainly haven't got the knowledge. Yeah. Why would you take a chance on that?
You wouldn't. And it's I mean, you really shouldn't, should you? It's a drain on, like, your energy as well. And I think probably even more than, like, costs, it's that horribleness of having to go through conflict with somebody when you really don't want to do that probably wasn't needed in the first place. I think as well, a lot of, like, the negative side of what you do. Yeah. The not nice conversations, which is part of it inevitably. 90% of them must be avoidable if you do it right in the first place. Yeah. So if, you're working with people like yourselves, you're doing all the preventative stuff, you're doing your development stuff, you're doing your one-to-ones, you're doing all of this work there, that conversation never happens. It never has to happen.
Because you capture it there, and if there's a challenge, you can work your way out of it. Yeah. People can shake hands and go separate ways if it's not for them. Yeah. It never has to get to that point. Yeah. And that's a massive, because believe me, and I've been there, when it gets to that point, the stress and the emotional taxing that has on you, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's so awful. And I just feel, half of me is like, my heart breaks for you, but then my other half is like, oh, if you'd have just come to us a little bit sooner, it's a great case study. It would have been a lot easier and saved you a lot of money. But there's three things. I think if you've got your documents in place, you have your hard conversations quickly, and you tell people what you expect of them. Like, not much else. You can't do much else, and that, like, solves a lot of longer term problems. No, definitely. So you've had your new event recently? We did, yeah. Tell me about that. It was the Employer Survival Guide. So it was an employment law update with the support of a payroll company called EMP Services and Beam Recruit, who really helped us with that. I think possibly we're a real five member, wasn't she, Kerry, for a while. David was as well. Was David as well? Amazing. A little power team. Power team, yeah. So we came together to do an employment law update with a bit of a twist. There's been lots of employment law updates recently, but most of the updates are
delivered in terms of a bit. They're long-winded. There's an awful lot of change.
No one's reading all that, are they?
It feels a bit like scaremongering, and nobody wants to read it, and people bury their heads in the sand. So we turned it into a workshop to make sure that it was kind of easy to understand and a bit of a checklist of get this in place and you'll be okay. Yeah. And this is how we can help. So it went down really well.
So I think we're going to do a Real 5 one.
Yeah. I think
we should set it up. Yeah. Obviously, offer it to members, but maybe offer it out to some other people as well.
Definitely.
Maybe speak to Rebecca and see if you want to collab on it.
Like bring
I mean, Sian does the payroll really as well, so it could be something we can link in with Sian.
100%. And we could even bring. So there's Pegasus Health as well, isn't there? So a bit on like
perfect.
benefits.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's worth seeing if we can set that up. And obviously offer it not just to our members. We've got the wider network as well. You know, we can put something on there.
I think it would be good.
And
it's
anything
a good
like
networking
that.
opportunity because people, it's you network and you learn. It's everyone wins.
No, well, we can definitely do that. And the podcast, is this Dan's baby or are you on?
This is Dan's baby. I'll let Dan talk properly about.
I've seen some of the clips and stuff. It looks good, really good.
Yeah, he's done so well, and I think it's a bit of a passion project for Dan. He's bringing in people from different organisations, different roles, and it's called Conversations with Colleagues to kind of bring awareness to some of the things that people are dealing with personally and in the workplace and how businesses can better support
Brilliant.
them.
Well, we'll make sure we share them details as well. But no, it's been good.
It's been
really good.
I've realised I've been like going like this more and more. I've been like
should be lying down in a minute.
Gradually lying down, so hopefully I don't look all awkward on the camera.
So like I say, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
It's good to catch up.
Me
that was painful, wasn't it? Painless.
It was painless, yeah.
And that's it. So obviously, like I say, there'll be. I think we're going to release some episodes, aren't we, Frank?
Yeah.
We're going to aim to do like a 10 episode series towards the end of May. Just drop one a week.
Yeah.
But before that, Frank will clip it, so there'll be like little. But there's some cracking stuff there that will be really good to just share.
Snippets, aren't there?
You know, and put a caption with it and stuff like that. It'd be good. So as soon as they're done, I'll fire them over to you.
Definitely. And what are you kind of selling this space? So if people ask and say, where you reckon? So you can get in touch.
We use it for ourselves. Through the football club stuff. Mark's doing some bits in football. I'm doing some bits in business. And then we've got some people that want to hire the space.
That's so cool.
And it's like, it's not, if we're not using it, it's not used. So they can come in and use it.
To edit themselves, I assume.
Or they can have Frank for a small fee.
Oh, brilliant.
He's only cheap, so. But yeah, it's good. It's good. And we've had a lot of interest. I think when we looked at it as well, it's so expensive. So
expensive,
we were looking at podcast studios, and for something maybe half the size of this, it was like double the price of what we can afford to rent it out at. So I was like, when we actually weighed up what we would pay to do our own podcast in a studio, this pays for itself within a few months for us. So it's a no-brainer. So it also allows us to say, listen, if there is people that want to do their own podcast or use it for a one-off kind of caption things and stuff like that, it's here. Come and use it. Do you know what I mean? If you just chip in for the electricity and stuff, it doesn't cost us. Obviously, if you want Frank, he's available. We can make him available. Yeah. And it's good. It's great for content, and I think it's an easy access. Do you know what I mean? You don't need these big fancy professional studios.
You don't. You just need a nice background and then you sorted out. And even I suppose for you, having these conversations, every time someone shares something, you're in it as well.
That's it, and that's why we've got the branding everywhere. It's good, and we're getting loads of inquiries off the back of it.
Yeah,
I just remember it's there if you want it.
It's a really good spot as well, isn't it?
Right there's not a number on our head. We don't need to rent it out to cover the cost because we're using it. But if people want to chip in, fantastic, and if it gives people more exposure, it benefits. It's a bit of an ecosystem for me because it then feeds back into the network, and I can give more people more of a platform, which delivers more ROI on their investment and stuff like that, and it's good. I need to do something with Quickline in the podcast, but I don't know what that is yet.
You're going to do a little Quickline podcast, are you?
Yeah, but I feel like I want to do it in a van.
You should definitely do it.
I feel like I want to get GoPros in a van and just go for the drive and have a chat.
Yeah, that would be really
Suppliers, drivers, staff, customers in a van, and we'll just...
I think so. It's a bit like Take Me to Work, kind of.
Yeah. Or do we do it with the driver and just go out with the driver when he's delivering?
Yeah.
And just because there's 3 seats, isn't there? I could just podcast while the driver drives. That'd be pretty cool. Frank, we need to do some work on this, mate, because I think he's got legs.
Yeah.
I think so. Even little things like you could be and I know you wouldn't be a mystery person, but you could go and put yourself in those roles and be like, I'm going to be a driver for the day.
I'd probably get sacked.
Yeah. See how long you were.
But yeah, no, mega. Well, thank you very much. No. Thanks for listening to the Building Business Podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe and share it with someone else who you think might enjoy it too.